Hey everybody, it's John from the Hustle Daily Show. Before we get into the show today, did you know that HubSpot launched an AI chatbot that helps you build awesome campaigns at scale with just a few prompts? It's called Campaign Assistant, and it's a totally free-to-use AI tool made for marketers and business leaders who spend hours a day on content creation. Campaign Assistant will transform the way that you build marketing campaigns at scale. Craft personalized emails, ads, and landing pages in just a matter of minutes. Just pick the content type, add the key selling points, and let the AI take it from there. And the best part, it works seamlessly with all of HubSpot's marketing and sales tools to scale your output across email, social, and more. So AI your way into the most effective campaigns yet at HubSpot.com/campaign-assistant.
Howdy, folks. It's Thursday, August 25th. I'm Jacob Cohen here with Juliet, Bennett, Rylah, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. Today, Juliet's going to be breaking down the booming and lucrative market for purses. But not just any purses. We're talking about extremely weird purses. It's a thing, and we'll give you the lowdown on it and why it's interesting today's day and age. Before we get to that, let's take a quick look at what else is going on in the business and tech world. Let's get crack-a-lack. All right, first things first, probably the biggest story yesterday. President Biden plans to forgive $10,000 in federal student debt for most borrowers, and over 9 million people could become debt-free as a result. The plan, according to one estimate based on a model from Wharton Business School at the University of Pennsylvania, could cost the government anywhere from $300 billion to $980 billion. Eligible borrowers are generally individuals who make less than $125,000 a year. The U.S. Department of Education said it already has the income data for nearly 8 million borrowers who could just get automatic cancellation as a result, but it'll launch an application for other borrowers to input their income data and request loan forgiveness before the end of the year. Moving along, Pelton stock was up over 20% yesterday after the company landed an agreement with Amazon to begin selling its products on the site. Its first outside retailer and move outside of the direct-to-consumer model it's used for years, selling only through its site or its stores. Pelton said it already sees about 500,000 searches on Amazon monthly for Peloton's products, despite there not being the Peloton products available on Amazon. It is funny. And I think this is a super smart move to just increase distribution. But let's not forget, the stock is still down almost 90% in the last year, so they've still got a little bit of work to do, you might say. BlackBerry, a movie about the rise and fall of the ultra-popular keyboard-centric Canadian smartphone, has wrapped production. BlackBerries and their clickety-clackety keyboards were ubiquitous for years. Did you have one, Juliet?
No, I think it was a bit too young for a BlackBerry.
Well, they were ubiquitous for years, and then Apple and Samsung came along and said, that, here's a touch screen. The screenplay was adapted from the best-selling 2015 book, Losing the Signal, the untold story behind the extraordinary rise and spectacular fall of BlackBerry. I am looking forward to seeing that.
Me too, actually.
Up next, TikTok is experimenting with a nearby feed focused on relevant local content. This makes complete sense if you use the app. TikTok made the rounds last month after it became clear the company is setting itself up to become the next generation search engine, taking on Google by offering more interesting, relevant, engaging search results, right? When you search Google for, let's say, a cool bar in Boston, for instance, you're greeted with 125 million results. I actually just did this. But when you search the same thing on TikTok, you just see some fun, cool clips of cool bars in Boston. So the question is, what would you rather, 125 million results or some catchy 12-second videos? And even Google recently said its own research found 40% of young people, when they're looking for a place to eat lunch, go to TikTok or Instagram before Google Maps or search. Very interesting developments here. And lastly, Apple sent out invites to its September 7th event where it's expected to launch iPhone 14s that'll replace their camera and speaker notch at the top of the phone with a single hole-punch-looking camera dot. I think it's pretty neat, though I will say it has been a feature on Android phones for some time.
Yes, that is true.
And I'm sure the Android fans will be happy to clarify that.
Yeah, I'm not really clear on how long it's been a feature, but I do have a Pixel and there is a dot on it.
All right, let's get into the lucrative market for weird purses. So, Juliet, the other day I was walking on the streets of Cambridge, Massachusetts. Quirky place, no doubt. And I saw a lady with a purse, but this was not any ordinary purse. It was a straight up box of Barilla pasta with a shoulder strap.
Wow.
Of course, I had to look this up, see if it was real. And lo and behold, it was real. It was a purse made from designer Nick Bentel, who made 100 units of it and sold them each for $200 last summer. And today, you can find people trying to resell them for up to $2,500. And today you wrote about how this is a trend that's growing both in terms of just how weird these bags are, but also how pricey they're getting. Is that right?
Yeah, sort of. Now, what's weird about this is that right now we're getting a lot of this in the news, and it's mainly centered around two purses or bags. Balenciaga has a bag that looks like a garbage bag. It's called the trash pouch.
Very nice.
And it retails for $1,790.
Hey, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly. And it literally looks like a trash bag. The other one is it's J.W. Anderson's 3D printed pigeon clutch. That retails for $890. I believe this first release is sold out.
It looks like a pigeon, right?
Looks exactly like a pigeon. And it has no strap. It has no handle. It's just a clutch that you hold in your hand. Its wing opens and then you put things in the compartment.
Of course. Of course the wing opens.
And there's a ton of, buzz about these items on social media. So people are talking about how weird these are. And they have a couple purposes. So for the type of people who would buy a bag such as this, they're great conversation starters. Nobody is going to be like, oh my gosh, where'd you get your JanSport backpack that I had when I was in middle school? But, they will be like, oh, your purse is a pigeon. That's cool.
For sure.
And brands get a lot of attention, even from people who have no intention of buying them.
Right.
So according to Business of Fashion, the trash pouch scored Balenciaga 54,000 mentions on Twitter and nearly $2 million in media impact value in 1 week. So it kind of advertises itself because it's so weird and everybody's talking about it.
Right.
And then I was reading the Wall Street Journal. Joseph Hancock II, director of Drexel University's retail merchandising program, was talking about how brands, they also benefit from shoppers who are like, oh my gosh, I got to go look at this pigeon thing. And then they go to the website and they look at it and they may have no intention of buying a pigeon purse.
Yeah.
But they might look at other stuff and buy something then, or the next time they're thinking, hey, I need a bag, I need a coat, I need whatever. They might revisit that website because now they have the brand in their mind.
Right. Right. And is this a new trend or entirely new?
No, absolutely not. We've been seeing novelty bags for truly centuries. A lot of times they're popular with children who have little teddy bear backpacks,
right.
But they've also been popular with adults for years and years. I was actually looking at like a museum display of purses throughout the ages. And there's this great picture of a 17th century frog purse that people used to carry. Looked like a frog. Right. And people are still doing it. There's been some great drops over the years. There's a band, is it Moschino, that had this great purse that looks like a biker jacket.
I might use that.
That's what I thought. And a lot of these designs are gender neutral, so anyone can carry them. They're not specifically tailored for any one type of person. So as long as you're not the kind of person who's like, no, I want a bag that is functional only, it might appeal to you, and maybe it has over the years.
Yeah.
Now, the most coveted, the most interesting, the creme de la creme of novelty bags, I have learned, and the ones that are most likely to retain their value over the years are Judith Lieber. She was a Hungarian-American designer, and she is best known for her crystal-encrusted purses. They look like all manner of things: hamburgers, bows, various animals. I watched a clip from Sex and the City, and I admit I'm not familiar with the show, but apparently there's a scene in there where the character Mr. Big gives, what's the main character? It's Sarah Jessica Parker's character, a very beautiful swan purse that she does not like, although it probably cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
So these things, they have been in TV shows. They have been carried by fashionistas and politicians, but you can also find them in museums because they are so detailed.
Sure.
That they are considered high art. So if you end up scoring one of these and you pay the thousands of dollars to have one in your personal collection, you actually may be able to resell it. Whereas some of these things, they may come in and out of fashion, but these Judith Lieber pieces are high art novelty bags.
Right. The trash bag and the pigeon bag could be in a museum in 20 years. You never know.
Yeah, that's very true.
And bada bing, bada boom. That's going to do it for us today, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is the lovely Ezra Trupiano. Our executive producer is Darren Clark. I'm Jacob Cohen here with Juliet, Bennett, Rylah. We've got a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, you can go get yourself signed up at thehustle.co. Hope you have a terrific Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey guys, if you listen to the Hustle Daily Show on Google Podcasts, we want to let you know that the option will no longer be available pretty soon. Google is sunsetting its podcast app sometime in early 2024 in favor of YouTube Music, and we want to give you a heads up before it's too late, since that time's almost here. The Hustle Daily Show is available everywhere and anywhere that you listen to podcasts, like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're using YouTube Music, we are there as well. If you're an Android fan, there are plenty of apps like Overcast, Pocket Casts, Player FM, and more. So just search for us wherever you decide to listen to your favorite podcasts.